The Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event in America. Hundreds of millions of people watch it, celebrities show up, halftime shows cost more than most movies. And yet, there is one event on this planet that makes the Super Bowl look small, and most Americans have no idea it exists. Here's something that will completely change how you see sports. The FIFA World Cup is not just bigger than the Super Bowl, it is bigger than the Super Bowl. The NBA Finals, the World Series, and the Olympics combined. And today, you're going to find out exactly why. Let's start with the numbers because they are genuinely insane. The Super Bowl pulls in around 115 million viewers in the United States. That sounds massive, but the 2022 FIFA World Cup final, just the final match alone, was watched by 1.5 billion people. That is nearly 1 in 5 humans on the entire planet watching the same game at the same time. Nothing in the history of television has ever come close to that, but here's where it gets even crazier. The Super Bowl lasts one day, one game, one winner. The World Cup, it runs for an entire month. 32 countries, 64 matches. And across that whole tournament, the total viewership reaches around 5 billion people. That's almost the entire population of Earth tuning in at some point. So why does the World Cup get so massive? It comes down to one thing: football, or soccer, if you're American, is the most played sport on the planet. Over 270 million people play it regularly. It requires almost no equipment, just a ball. Sometimes not even that. Kids play it in the streets of Brazil, in villages in Africa, in schoolyards across Asia and Europe. It is the one sport that belongs to everyone. The Super Bowl is America's game. The World Cup is the world's game. That's the difference? Now here's something most people don't think about. When your country plays in the World Cup, it's not just a sports team. It's your flag, your identity, your entire nation watching together, holding their breath at the same moment. That emotional weight is something no league championship can replicate. Think about it this way. When the Super Bowl happens, half of America is rooting for a team they might not even care about. But when a country plays in the World Cup, every single person in that nation is invested. Streets go empty, offices shut down, entire cities stop. In 2022, when Argentina won the World Cup, an estimated 4 million people flooded the streets of Buenos Aires. That's more people than most American cities even have. And the money? The 2022 World Cup in Qatar generated over $7.5 billion in revenue. The Super Bowl, for comparison, generates around $700 million. The World Cup makes more than 10 times that amount. Here's the final thing that really puts this into perspective. The Super Bowl has one country emotionally invested. The World Cup has 32, and billions more watching because they just love the sport. There is no rivalry in American sports that comes close to what happens when Brazil plays Argentina or when England faces Germany. These are matches where entire generations of fans carry decades of history into every single moment. That's what makes the World Cup different. It's not just a tournament, it's the one moment every 4 years when the whole world agrees to care about the same thing. The Super Bowl is a great event, but the World Cup? It's something else entirely. If this changed how you see football, hit subscribe. There's a lot more where that came from.